Hello everyone. So, welcome to my channel. Joy here, and I think it's time to bring back the positivity to this place. So, let's talk about memes. And hormones. I want to talk more about hormones, really. So, I am 6 months in to taking estrogen. So, since the 3-month mark, let's talk about what's changed since then. First of all, I doubled my dose and have found that this kind of works for me. Based on the changes that I've seen and experienced. So this obviously does not work for everybody. And, you know, I do need to make it very, very clear that hormones are not sweets. They are not playthings. That being said, everybody's bodies are different. Everybody's body chemistry is different. So not everybody needs the same dose. And it's not unusual for some people to double their dose at that mark, or even go up even higher than what I'm taking. But I think what I've got at the moment seems to work for me. So I am also not taking any anti-androgens, so that also sort of affects how much estrogen I need to take. And again, if this dose proves to be too high, I can always lower it back down in the future, but it seems to be at a comfortable place at the moment, so that's good. So what do I mean by that? Well, what's changed since the 3-month mark? I'm sure you're all dying to know about these. Yes, I have constant soreness. I only really notice it when I actually touch them, but like, yeah, it's like they're super sore. Like on and around the nip area. And anything else? I mean, okay, so I've got these, like, you know how at the 3-month mark I said that my nipples were hard, like firm? Well, that's spread out to like an area around the nipple, and it's like a tiny lump behind there, which indicates breast growth, which I'm happy with. So yay. It's sort of promising. The other sort of thing I need to talk about there is I haven't really noticed much difference in the way of growth. In terms of like size or anything, but I have noticed that they seem to be sort of wanting to point forward more, if that makes any sense. Just because like I am already kind of a little bit on the round side, so I already had like a small handful basically, so now they are like a little bit, I don't know, like a little bit of a bigger handful, but like it's really hard to tell. There's not much difference at all there, which, you know, after 6 months kind of want more, but there are reasons for that being the way it is. Not taking any anti-androgens. Also, just I like to drink, and, you know, if your liver is processing hormones, and alcohol kind of slows it down. Also, one thing I've heard is that it's a really bad idea to smoke while taking these hormones. Unfortunately for me, I mean, I gave up smoking about 6-7 years ago, so that's not really an issue for me. But if anybody else is watching this and thinking that they would like to start taking estrogen, just bear that in mind. Like, if you smoke, it will slow down any progress, and also increase the risk for blood clots. Okay, so I know what you're all thinking. You want to know about the penis. Fine, I will tell you. Things have changed there. Things have changed there quite a bit, actually. So my sex drive has changed completely. It's decreased, and I'm sorry if this is going to be TMI. You have to bear with it and just, you know, if you don't want to know, look away now, sort of thing. So I was a once a day on average kind of person. Now on average once a week. Yeah. I'm immensely happy with that, but at least it's still there. The feel and like the ability to get hard and, you know, stay erect and everything, that hasn't changed. I'm happy with that. When I do finish, that feels less intense than it did before. And also, the ejaculate is different. It was white, it's now more clear. It was thick and viscous, and it's now kind of more liquidy. Yeah, so the amount that's produced has decreased. And also the smell is different. Like, it's less sour, pungent. It is what it is there. I do know, well, okay, I know what you're going to ask about. But what about the mouthfeel? Well, people are talking about it now. However, I don't fucking know, is the answer. It's not like I can reach down there. I haven't had anybody else to test out that theory for a while. So, sorry. Can't really update you on that. So let's talk more about the emotional changes that have been happening in the past 3 months, because they've been so much fun. My emotions are basically more intense than they were before. I've been sort of yo-yoing a little bit, but when I'm sad, I'm really sad. And I've been experiencing these waves of sadness and loneliness and just completely out of the blue. Like, I'm working or whatever, or like walking across town, and then I just get this really big like pang of like intense emotion. With these non-physical changes, They are a little bit harder to track because by their own very nature they are sort of more vague. There's that. But also they have been, yeah, just more amplified, more intense than they were before. It's kind of a bitch, but the way I see it is I've basically traded one emotional distraction for another. Instead of being horny, I'm now like really lonely. And I don't know, I feel like I do kind of want a man, or several, but for different reasons now. Finally, the last thing I want to talk about is something that I want anyone to take away from this if they're watching this. Basically, this is sort of a cautionary tale. That just because you are taking hormones and they are doing magical things to your body doesn't mean that you will still get the response that you want from other people. I mean, basically, I work with the public, okay, for my sins. And I was serving this customer the other day and he totally clocked me and he called me sir. I'm like, do I look like a sir to you? Really? So, yeah. Six months of hormones still doesn't stop everyone from recognising that certain je ne sais quoi of maleness, masculinity, whatever you want to call it. So, yeah. Basically, don't have unreasonable expectations. It's definitely a process. It's a long process. It's not something that happens overnight, unfortunately. But anyway, hopefully that's taught you enough that you need to know, and I will see you soon. Non-binary is valid, god damn it! For fuck's sake. You try and be dramatic, it's not good. I need to take that. You have to, ooh,